guys, welcome back to Mysteries with Pippa. I'm so happy to be back. So as some of you may know, I haven't really posted for nearly a month. This is because I've been getting a lot of hate, but I took some time away to recover. Now I'm back on track and hopefully I get this right. Let's get on with today's case. Around 800,000 children go missing every year, and that's roughly 2,000 children a day. Of those that go missing, only 1% are never resolved. It's truly heartbreaking when a loved one goes missing, but it's even worse when you never find out the reason of why they've gone missing. So here is the case of Asha Degree, who went missing under mysterious circumstances. Get relaxed, turn a light off, and let's get into this case. Asha Degree was a 10-year-old African-American girl who disappeared from Shelby in North Carolina. Her parents, Harold and Aquila, married February the 14th, 1988, Valentine's Day. And 2 years later, they had 2 children. Asha Degree was born first, followed shortly after by O'Brien. The Degree family was a very strict and religious family, and they regularly attended church. They also had really strict rulings on what they could have in the house, and one of the restrictions was a computer. They were not allowed to watch the news, as the Degree family didn't want their children kind of being aware of a lot of the horrors that the news presents. But despite this strictness, they were brought up in a really loving family, and Asha Degree was described as a daddy's girl who was very shy but very clever. She was in 4th grade at the time of her disappearance, and she also attended Falston Elementary School. On Sunday the 13th of February 2000, Asha and her brother O'Brien went to bed at 8 p.m. in the room that they shared together, while Harold worked the night shift at his job. At approximately 12:30 a.m, Harold arrived home and checked on the children, and they were both asleep. He then checked on them again at 2:30 a.m. just before he went to bed, and he also claims that they were present in their room. Shortly after he went to bed on the 14th of February, which was also coincidentally his anniversary with his wife, Harold recalls hearing Asha's bed squeak, and he just assumed that she had moved in her bed, and he quickly fell back to sleep. But apparently, for unknown reasons, at this time, Asha had packed her book bag and left her house in a mid-February storm, dressed all in white. Between 3:45 a.m. and 4:15 a.m, a truck driver and a motorist had seen her walking south along Highway 18 wearing all white. What is interesting is they didn't actually report this to the police at the time of her disappearance. They had only reported it afterwards when her missing appearance appeared on the news outlet. The reason why the motorist remembers it is because he said it was very odd to see a really young girl at such early hours in the morning walking down a highway on her own. He did attempt to approach her. The motorist actually drove past her, turned back around and drove past her again to ask if she was okay, but this startled Asha, and then she ran into the woods nearby. But obviously at this time her parents had no idea that this had happened, and so Aquila, her mother, woke up at 5:45 a.m. on Valentine's Day, her anniversary with her husband, to get the children ready for school. When she opened the children's room, she had found her son O'Brien, but her daughter was not in her bed. She then called her mother, and her mother told her to ring the police. By 6:40 a.m, first police officers had arrived onto the scene. Police dogs had been called to the scene as well to try and see if they could smell Asha, but they could not due to the storm. So Aquila, like any other terrified mother, went around her whole neighborhood shouting her daughter's name, waking up all the neighbors. She did not care who she woke up, shouting her daughter's name, trying to raise awareness. By 7 a.m, most of the neighborhood had woken up, and many friends and family and the community had quit doing what they were going to do for the day. They took the day off work, all to search for Asha. On the 14th, the search was proved fruitless and they didn't find anything. But the next day, on the 15th, they had found candy wrappers in a shed at a nearby business, and the business was along Highway 18. Along with that was found a pencil, a marker, and a Mickey Mouse hair bow, and they were identified as belonging to Asha by her mother. A week later, after 9,000 man-hours had been put into the search, they then called off the search of Asha Degree as they could not find any further leads. Then, and this is something so heartbreaking, August the 3rd, 2001, Asha's book bag and other items were unearthed during a construction project along Highway 18, and her book bag was wrapped up in 2 plastic bags as if someone was trying to conceal Asha's items. This was also found about 26 miles away from the Degree house. The FBI took the bag and all the other belongings in this bag and did perform further analysis on it, but these results have never been made available to the public. In February 2015, the FBI had agreed to reopen the case, to re-examine all the evidence that they had, and also to re-interview witnesses. They also informed that they were offering up a $25,000 reward for any information, which led to the arrest of the person who was responsible for Asha's disappearance. And the neighbourhood where Asha Degree and her family had grew up in, they also added a further $20,000 to this to try and help people find the suspect. In May 2016, the FBI said that they had found a new possible lead. They disclosed that Asha may have been seen getting into a dark green, early 1970s Lincoln, or it possibly could have been a Ford Thunderbird, as 2 witnesses came forward to say that they had seen her get into that car on the night of her disappearance. Many have speculated very different theories as to why Asha had disappeared in the way that she did, and there's so many to go through, but I'm just going to mention the main theories that I have come across when researching this. The first is that she has been groomed by an adult, either a church leader, a teacher, family, or a family friend, and that this person had told Asha to meet them at a certain time and at a certain location. If this is true, this would explain a number of things. It would explain why Asha felt the need to leave so late or so early in the late at night, early in the morning. Also why she was wearing all white so she could be located. It explains why she also packed a bag. Another theory, and it's one that I do not agree, but it is one of the most talked about theories, is that Asha was sleepwalking. Now, many people have known to be doing very scary things while sleepwalking. They might talk. I know I talk in my sleep. I also used to sleepwalk. I've walked downstairs and had full conversations with my parents. Some people have even killed people in their sleep. It has been known. Some people have drove sleepwalking. Like, these are all things that have been proven to have happened. But the assumption is, in her dream, she thought she was going to school, that's why she packed her bag, that she walked along the highway, which is the same route that it is to go to school, and that they believe when the motorist had drove up beside her and asked if she was okay, this awoke Asha, which startled her because she'd have woken up and been like, where am I? You know, I was in my bed, I've woken up and now I'm here. And that would have startled her to run into the woods because, like I said, she was a very shy individual who would not talk to many strangers, if at all any. And many people believe that after she ran off into the road, she either met foul play then, or she died of dehydration, or a fall, or even an animal attack. But like I said, it isn't one that I agree with as much. And another theory is that Asha wanted to go on an adventure. So before Asha disappeared, her and her classmates at the elementary school were reading a book, and the characters in this book run away from home to go on an adventure. People think she might have took this literally and went on an adventure. It does seem very coincidental, and it is something I'd be more likely to believe than the sleepwalking theory, but she seemed, from her parents, like a really intellectual individual, and because she was so shy, it makes you wonder why she chose to go on an adventure or believe a character in a book. But it has definitely been concluded that she left her house of her own accord, but why is a mystery, and maybe one that we might never solve. So that is today's mystery, guys. If you have any further theories of what might have happened to Asha, please do email me, please leave a message down below, or visit my Instagram. I'd be so interested in hearing about Asha Degree. It is a really sad case, and what makes it worse is the mysterious circumstances around it. You know, it happened on the anniversary of her parents. She woke up early hours in the morning, packed a bag and left. It makes you wonder what was going through her mind, and I don't think we'll ever get closure from this case, and that's what makes it so truly heartbreaking. So thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this case today in the best way that we can enjoy mysterious cases, and I will be back again next week, continuing like I've always continued, for another Mysteries with Pippa. You've been talking to Pippa today.